Last time on The Empire's Edge.
We found Thug during our trip to the marketplace, and we learned all about this secret society. If you are looking for the same thing, we'd like to find a way of putting you in touch with him directly.
His power was so vast, he could have stood against them. It was as though he allowed himself to be captured.
We made suicide bombers. We can't not be terrorists.
And probably the most pain is experienced ever, and that's all kind of a screaming click sound mentally to all of you. It says, truce. I call for a truce. So there's a tense moment where it is still in that kind of rearing back mode. Jacob, your arrows are visible in its flank.
I shoot again.
And it's and everyone, I would imagine, is holding for that moment, but it just called for a truce.
Yeah. I'm lawful good. I'm kind of obligated.
I cast pixies.
Okay.
All
Inglés?
right.
Or I cast the thing that calls pixies.
She's just some
Conjure
inside,
woodland being.
inside
That's
the
what I do.
matriarch.
I conjure woodland beings.
So as you're in the process of conjuring them, it's almost like a scream in your mind. Is this thing repeating, a truce, no spells, sister, no cast.
Is it distracting enough that I have to roll concentration? Oh, wait.
So when the pixies come into being, it doesn't really calm itself down, but obviously you weren't like launching a lightning
we
bolt
just
at it or
doubled
something.
our numbers.
That there's just more foes there.
Well, Ed with magic she doesn't necessarily recognize. This continues to be hectic.
So as they come in, as you summon those pixies in, so now, and how many did you summon in?
My maximum, which is 8.
8. So yeah. So a much larger party all of a sudden. And again, I always picture
A
these
sudden
pixies.
contingent.
Like one is still mixing up bread. One was sharpening a knife.
We took them from their
Yeah,
homes?
that wherever they
Yeah.
are doing, one smoking a cigarette, and they're all like, "Oh man,
These
it's
are the most
you guys
grizzled,
again."
Beat up
Yeah.
pixies because we keep getting the same bunch.
One's got
This is
one
how the
eye and a
draft works.
patch. Yeah. One has a prosthetic on one hand. All this kind of stuff. But
See, I didn't picture them as
You're
being
drafting
ripped from
pixies.
I didn't picture them
How
as
do you
being
feel
ripped from
about
their
that?
personal lives. I just pictured them as in like those biker pixies
In
from
a
Onward.
holding,
No, you
in a
remember,
holding
like,
cell?
No, just in Onward, those little tiny pixies that like wear the leather jackets and everything.
Oh,
They're just there.
crap,
They
yeah.
summon and they're ready to fight. They're like, yeah, it's now time for this.
They're psyched. They're like, thank God, I'm so sick of making
our
stupid
life would be so
bread.
boring if it hadn't
The
been
exact
for
same
do
scene.
something else.
It's the exact same scene. They're actually excited to be here. They like stops eating the bread, pulls a knife out of the bread, and just says, "Let's go." Cigarette actually turns out to be like a wand.
Yeah, it cigarette and then pulls it the rest of the way out, and it's an entire Molotov cocktail.
Oh no! Okay.
that as the number just, I guess, quadrupled at this point from what
Yeah,
had
but
been
they're
right
little.
here.
Doubled.
Well, doubled.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah, but
Now
you
there's,
also,
now there's 11.
I think there's some drones came with you too, if I remember correctly.
We didn't have any drones.
There's 12 of us now, yeah.
So even so, that it says again mentally through you, and almost as a scream, I can give you the surface. I can give you outside.
Oh,
Well, that's got my attention.
okay.
So again, it's still waiting because no one has like mentally responded to her.
How do you know what we want?
We're demons.
Yeah.
We're all
We-
obviously wrong.
But we could
looking.
like it down here.
Or
Who's
do
she
you
been
voice-
talking to?
Do you voice that question?
No, I'd say, how do you know we want to go to the surface? Who have you been speaking to?
I am matriarch of a clan. I have spies. I know that you work for Gha'Geendrog to simply escape this place and return to your hell.
I knew they had spies. Like, there's no way they didn't have spies.
How do you get us to the surface?
By using the total power of our council, all of our sages, and pieces of you, we will send you to a place that has things like you.
I'm going to command one of these creatures that I just called to read your thoughts, so I know if you're just stalling us in order to gain help here to protect you.
There's no need. I am matriarch of clan. I must be believed.
Yeah, I'm doing it anyway.
Okay.
Are you honestly negotiating for your life, or are you trying to deceive us?
While this is all happening,
I said that as a joke, but it made a lot more sense as I said it out
Yeah,
loud.
right. That actually sounded pretty legit, didn't it?
I kind of want to, like, okay, as soon as you cast and those things reading her thoughts, I want to give her that mental ping for the I forget what it's called. The cult, yeah.
All right. So first things first is that the Pixies casting, I guess that ping would come back before the
Well, no,
pixie.
I want to wait until thoughts can be read before
Okay.
I make the ping, so that way if she does react to it but doesn't say anything.
Yeah, the pig says to you, boss lady, it's both. She is stalling kind of for her life. She knows that eventually her own people will show up, but she seems to be on the level when it comes to being able to send all of you some kind of a teleportation of some sort to some place that she believes is close to where you want to go.
This was
Thank
definitely
you,
the one that was
Paula
smoking
Pixie.
this.
And I'd like you to lay off the cigarettes.
No. Triple your intake. Spread it around.
All right, boss lady. So what I learned from it right now.
I want to be leaders in the Pixie Mafia.
Oh man.
All right, so
No, the exact opposite of that.
If the pixie
Oh,
isn't
man.
speaking, so you guys could hear, I'm going to relay that information.
Yeah, and then I do the mental ping.
It doesn't even react to it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of want to leave someone in charge of the cult. Like I don't want her to not
What do
be
you mean, a
alive.
piece of us?
Oh.
Something that is dear to you or from your person, a piece of your carapace, whatever it would be that we could have that is a part of what you are.
How do we know that this is all you'll do?
It would take more than that. We've got to get Gha'Geendrog away from us. You would need to strike back at their force that's attacking us now.
So wait, so you're not just sending us to the surface. You want us to turn and fight the people that we came here with.
At least to get them out of our main seats of power so we can organize our sages to send you out.
I say without us leading their charge, they would be defenseless against you. Send us away now, and you'll be able to take them without us, and we don't have to
Yeah,
betray our own.
But to do the
Impossible.
ritual,
The sages must be here.
yeah, exactly. They need to take their spellcasters from the front, which would cause Gha'Geendrog to just overwhelm them.
We are in chaos now. Your forces are everywhere within our city, within our
What's Shatask doing while we are having this debate?
Weighing
Shatask
options.
has been, in a different kind of mental state since she realized she really wants you guys gone, and is also starting to suspect that maybe this cult is onto something. So she is hanging back, even though she is the ranking Inuriac among all of you right now. She's not saying a word. She wants to see how this whole thing's playing out. It would simply mean to strike back at the Inuriac that have enslaved you, and then helping to organize the mages, bringing them here, and then we can send you to a place that is nearest of the hell that we're able to send you.
How can you prove that you're trustworthy?
She just read my mind.
Well, and it's her life in the balance.
I know, but I mean, even then, I understand she's saying anything, and she could be completely trustworthy. But her clan, what you stand for, how are we?
Her clan obeys her completely. That's
This is making a
point.
deal with Vidborg.
What?
No.
Well, how do you mean that if that was a metaphor?
Oh, it's definitely a metaphor.
Vidborg is a
That,
gigantic.
I'm
female ant.
telling my compatriots my vote. This is making a deal with Vidborg.
See, we just know the clan that we met when we got down here. We don't actually know who's good, who's evil, or anything. We
Ultimately,
don't know who we can trust at all.
I'm with Zelen. I gave my word.
Yeah, like that's the same thing too. Is like we have an in with them, but even then, we've at least been with them for a while. We might be able to trust them a bit more. But that being said, we were sent here to kill her, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, has she shown any ability to defend herself aside from screaming the word truce?
They're
She didn't
A
have much
magocracy.
time to, but you would
Probably a
assume she has
spellcaster.
ability and power. I mean, you could ask Shatask right now if you wanted to.
She has to be in charge for a reason. Should ask what can she do?
They are powerful. They are sisters.
okay. So she's probably a pinnacle magic user then.
Well, at least we have the pixies. I'm going to go with polymorph.
So as you guys are talking, anyone that actually has Arcana, go ahead and roll it now.
Actually, all of us, right?
No.
I mean, that you have it as a
Skill?
You're proficient.
proficiency.
Oh, well,
24.
don't need it.
You believe that she's actually like gathering power as though if things go the wrong way, because she's aware of this conversation that you guys are already
Right.
like, yeah, this does not sound like a good thing. That she's just preparing herself to do something, but she's still holding back.
I cast Blight.
Blight. What does blight do?
Wow.
I'm guessing some
Necromantic
bad
energy
stuff.
washes over a creature of your choice that you can see within range, draining moisture and vitality from it. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. The target takes 8d8
And
necrotic damage on a failed save.
Constitution is Constitution is
and
what you.
she's rolling at disadvantage because of my hex.
Nice.
Yeah, that you called. So I guess the decision's been made. We'll take that as a pre-action. Everybody else rolling nits.
I need
Oh, you need
8
another
dice.
D8. How many more?
I need 8 of them. I have 3.
Here's 2 more. You need 3. 1 more. We need 2 more.
I'll
more
take that
D8s.
in. I don't trust anybody.
Yeah, she's not going to take mine.
I gave you both of mine.
at this point.
He didn't even offer it up. Like he's just like, I'm not even going to have my dice
I was
insulted
looking
in
for
this
other
moment.
stuff.
We need.
Okay. Oh man.
So
I like hearing
it's
that.
already so low.
Oh, man.
I'm looking at that Dex +8, Wisdom +7, Charisma +11.
2 natural ones. 2 natural ones. Actually,
Yeah.
no. Natural 1 and a natural 20.
That's
I
a
got
nine.
it.
Yeah, so,
Is that an 8?
so
That is an 8. Yep.
Do
You
I have
got.
all 8s?
Con's the straight up one.
Yeah, that's 8 8s. All right. So 64 points of damage. I'm excited.
No, it's 8d8, not 6d4.
Nice.
And what is it for you? 17?
I think
18, 16? I just
17.
17 sounds
17.
right. And your roll.
rolled a 13 and a 21.
You can't roll a natural 21. Okay.
10 and 12 is 22.
Math numbers.
6 is 28.
I believe it.
28, yeah. Plus another 8 is 34.
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Hey, pretty huge. And that does that to everybody in the area?
36. 36.
No, just a target creature.
Yeah, I know.
She got 36.
He's being a
I got
DM,
36.
that is to say a rude word.
Up, boop. All right. Above 20.
Oh, yeah. I did roll a number. 22.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
at
so
17.
Jacob's at 20.
Hey, natural 17.
Boris, 17.
I
And
think
where's,
Zelen needs to
where's
roll.
Zelen?
I don't think she rolled the net. She was
I
doing
was
her
busy.
math.
At the top of the round.
She was busy doing lots of damage to it. Nice.
17.
Probably
plus
better than 17.
something.
We're all up
Around
there.
a
Yeah,
20.
Yeah,
Probably.
plus 20.
Plus 20.
Not
oh,
plus
man.
20.
Oh.
How did her decks
I
get so
never
good?
go first.
22, Jacob.
Awesome. Yeah. I fire 2 arrows, and I believe I've already cast Hunter's Mark last time, so it's still
Yes.
marked that way.
That and she's injured.
Yeah, below hit point maximum.
Absolutely. All right. First one is going to be with the owl arrow because I don't think nothing is. I didn't hit it with one already. I don't believe. So
I don't recall if your last arrow was or not.
I don't remember.
I don't
We'll
recall.
start now.
I
So
know
I'll
your-
say this one
I
is
know
an
your
owl.
first one was. I don't recall your second
That's
one.
reasonable though. Yeah.
So this one's an owl. Ooh, that might not be good. Let's see. In order to hit, I need the right page. Where is it? There it is. 16.
Hits exactly.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
And-
That's
I need my D8s back. You
I'm sorry.
thief.
Oh, can I have mine back too?
Which
Yeah,
ones? Which
Both of
ones
the
are
green
they?
ones are mine.
his yeah.
That one. So D8, D8, D6. All right. 5, 10, 18 points of damage on the first one. Next one, rolling with advantage because arrow. And hit again. Above a natural 3, therefore a hit.
A free?
Natural free.
Choose free, my lord.
And I cannot do Hunter's Mark again. Or Colossus.
Hunter's Mark
no,
is every time,
Hunter's
Colossus
Mark.
Slayer is once.
Okay. Can I get another D6 from you? You. Get out of there. Oh, no, that's for the actual arrow. There we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 18 more points of damage. There you go.
Nice.
Am I allowed to give my pixies directions?
I think
Outside
on your,
of my
on your
turn.
round.
You had to
On
print
my
the
round.
map quest before you got here. Sorry.
All right, then Zelen at 20.
I'm
So
gonna
you and 8 other things are going to go.
yeah. I'm gonna give 3 of my pixies direction to watch for magical effects from her, and if they are cast, actually, I'm gonna give 4 of them that direction. If they are cast on any of us, they are to dispel magic. Does that make sense?
And
Yeah, it was
that's
cool.
interesting. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so 4 of the pixies are holding their action to dispel magic she casts on us.
That's
On
cool.
the 3 of us and Shatask.
There you go.
Um,
The other 4 are going to start kicking her, stabbing her with their bread knives.
Yeah, but literal. It's a sword made of bread.
A baguette.
Would you tell me how intelligent she is?
Well, she's like a good spellcaster. You'd imagine she's pretty intelligent.
I'm going to have 3 of them cast
I don't know. She tried to bargain with us. Not the smartest move.
Phantasmal Force.
Okay.
And have them. What's that thing we fought that is the ants are always fighting?
Umberhulks.
Umberhulk.
Oh.
And have them cast Umberhulk attacking her.
She had her arms like in a big crescent in front of her.
I love the way you
I
describe
guess that was
it.
the mandibles, but the fingers were going. I
was the
couldn't
antenna.
quite figure that. Yeah.
I like the way she describes it because it's not like I cast this spell to make this happen. No, I cast Umberhulk at her.
So what was say that all over again. What are you doing? And that
So I'm
involved
having
Umbrellas?
3 of them cast Umberhulk to
No, that's not a spell. What did you say?
cast
Phantasmal?
Phantasmal Force.
And
okay.
That gives the illusion that she's being attacked by an Umberhulk, which she will believe and take damage from if she fails her intelligence roll.
Aha.
Okay.
But she has to roll 3
You craft
times.
an illusion that takes roots in the mind of a creature that you can see within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, so 3 intelligence saves, which is good because it's like triple disadvantage.
Yeah, kind of.
I guess. Well, disadvantage itself, a single disadvantage is just 1 roll. So I guess this is double
Well,
disadvantage.
a single disadvantage is 1 roll, but the lowest is taken, as opposed to 3 rolls and the best is taken, or 3 rolls,
and
and they're all straight.
oh, this is true, yeah, because these each have their own effect. So it's not like you're making 3 rolls with 1 effect. If you could fail 3 times, you take 3 damage. 3 damage.
Or you take 3 effect. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And the survey says, which is their DC different than your own normal DC, or
Yes.
so what's the pixie save DC? What does he have to beat for this?
Oh, spell save DC 12.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's why you're cracking off 3 of them.
You ready?
I wonder who the last one's doing.
So I'm rolling 3 different saves for you. You said 3 of your guys are doing this?
3
Yes.
saves DC 12. You
3
said.
fairies are doing
Yeah.
this.
All right. So
Now, can my fairies only cast? Can my pixies only cast 1 spell at a time? Right?
Yeah.
They still have the normal set of actions, so if they have spells that are bonus actions, they could still do that.
The rolls.
She does not seem to be reacting to any Umberhulks.
Okay.
Ah,
All right.
she's smart.
Okay. So then
Yeah, you're
my action.
Right.
You have 1 more pixie
you've
too.
got, you've got 1 more pixie.
Yeah. No, I don't because I'm going to keep the one on detect thoughts.
Oh.
So I'm going to keep that one trying to detect her thoughts. So if she casts a spell, we know it's coming.
Interesting.
How
How does that work?
I have my own response to that. Yeah.
Makes sense, but okay.
And then 3 are dispelling
Yeah,
magic.
and then
then 3 are
with you
doing.
from there. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, 4 are dispelling magic, and 3 are
Okay.
doing phantasmal force.
But
So I have another action. I rolled 1 few dice the last time I did blight. I should have rolled 9, but that's okay. I'll leave that one.
okay.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna cast blight again.
No, you're adding 4 damage to that one.
Okay.
No, I'm completely serious. That's how much damage it should have been.
Ooh,
3.
those are, yeah. Yahtzee? Ooh, Yahtzee with D8s. That'd be fun. Be even more difficult.
Yeah. Or craps with D20s.
Now that did cross my mind when I was in the
34 points
casino.
of damage.
Oh, and I got to save on that one.
Oh, you rolled an extra dice and you rolled 2 damage
I know,
less.
right?
You're at
That's
disadvantage
weird.
on that con save.
You were 2 damage.
And she rolled to disadvantage. Right about the same time that one of those pixies is turning to you, Zelen, and saying, boss, her thoughts are shielded. I can't get through. That I'm not getting anything back. This thing lets out this horrible, horrible shrieking sound and just slumps.
Oh.
And it just stopped moving.
Oh, nice.
We better hit it again to make sure it's dead.
I think I
Put
know
some
why
more
we,
hours
I
in
think
it.
I know why we can't read its thoughts.
Zelen, the druid master of double tap. All
Hey,
right.
that's rule
Well, I
number-
was figuring the best way to prove what's going on is we take the head.
Nice.
It's big, but okay. And what are you doing? So it's now skipping its round. No, Boris, your round. She's saying I think we should hit it again. It's slumped.
I'm going to see if I can whack the head off with the hammer
All right.
because I'm a
Squishy.
good guy.
With my essential bag of holding, I think it'll fit. Don't worry.
Yeah, right? Well, I think we'd carry it as kind of proof of kill.
That's just true. What happens? What happens when they
And
lose their
I know, right?
hectic, I'm betting. And Sacred Weapon is active, so I'm at a plus 15 to hit.
Whoa.
Love this.
All right. Don't roll a -1.
Natural 20 for a 35.
Oh my god. That's definitely a hit. Her armor class was a 16 if you recall when
And
Jacob started.
another natural
Oh my
20.
god!
Oh my
I
gosh.
should have let you roll my damages.
Okay, yeah, so that's 2 crits.
What dice do you need?
I need a lot.
D8s?
Yeah, so expending second level spell slots for both. I'll need
Here's
4
9
d8s
more.
on that front. Yeah.
That's a
and
lot of
one
D8s.
of those and one of those.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Are you rolling both at the same time?
No.
Is it each? Oh, that's awesome.
Because getting too many dice in there would just kind of pollute statistics. They wouldn't, circulate properly. All right. Let's see. That's
Ooh, my dice rolled just as trained.
okay. So that is 12, 14, 16. 23 radiant, 4 necrotic. Sorry. That was that 7 isn't radiant. That's bludgeoning because of the crit.
Okay.
I just made a realization.
so-
If you're attacking an incapacitated creature, you roll with advantage. Would you like to roll again to see if you double crit?
Yeah. Do I do more damage if I double crit? Yeah. So that's actually my bad. 16 radiant, 4 necrotic, and 18 magic bludgeoning.
And what was and that's in addition to its original just damage? Or that was just those 3 things?
That's total.
Okay,
That
yeah,
is
okay,
the
got
total
it.
for
Just-
my first hit.
But splitting it up into types just in case
Yeah.
corpses have damage reduction.
Yeah. I just work here.
Okay.
Okay, and then 17 magic bludgeoning, 12 radiant, and 2 necrotic.
Wow.
So that was 59 points of damage.
Can I say I do this with the back spike of the hammer, not the flat of the hammer, and actually do cut the head
Well,
off?
what I'm looking at, the damage you did just now is actually more than half its original hit point total.
Nice.
So all in that one hit. So I was picturing that where these arrows went in, and I think it was 2 from the end of like last game, 1, 2, then 3, 4. Maybe
Just
it was
perforating it?
tantamount like to a perforation along there, and you hit it, and it tore at those spots that were most damaged. And so I'm okay with the rule of cool on that one. Yeah,
Nice.
You just knocked this thing's block right off. And by the way, it was at 4 when you did your next blight to it. So it was those, Jacob, your arrows knocked it down about 70 points between what happened
nice.
last episode and the start of this one. And it had 107 hit points. So that was really quick and really vicious. So yeah, this thing's off. Now, Shatask speaks up for the first time and says that shriek she made, her sages are coming.
Well, that means that
time to go.
Yeah.
our teammates are going to be taking care of them.
All right. So
Can I retrieve my arrows?
do we want would it help to fly? Do we want the
Yes.
pixies to cast fly?
Well, since we have to go over there and grab the head anyway, I'll just grab my arrows.
Well,
real fast
I
just to
was
say
grabbing
that.
the head since I was in melee.
Perfect. Arrows are still
so-
sticking out of it. Let's just
Yeah,
say.
so looping the hammer and using my free hand to heft head by whatever protrusion makes that easiest.
Yeah, and it'd be a big head. It's not like
Kind
your
of my torso size.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like it's like the size. It's categorically larger than any other Nuriak, even bigger than the shock troop head. So it is a good sized head. Yeah.
I'm going to direct the 1 that had been detecting thoughts and the 3 that had been phantasmal force on to have them put fly on the 4 of us, but keep the 4 that are dispelling magic. Keep them focused on
Ready to
dispelling
do
magic.
that.
And then we're going to fly in formation out of here like, a fleet of jets with the head of a matriarch. Oh, we are so cool.
Yeah, you're a bunch of like very bad looking people.
Nice.
Not because I'm wearing the skin of some guy.
It is like that. All right, I need to switch sheets here. So you guys, and you would need like a flying or a lot of climb stuff to get back out of this
Right, yeah,
place
because we had a
any old way.
15-foot drop into a tube.
Right.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
so I need to bring up a whole different set of things that you guys are
Flap, people,
potentially- Yeah, help with the lift.
She yells to the ants that are the Nuriak that she wasn't able to cast fly on. It just says, "Don't worry, you just have to flap." As we leave them,
Yeah, so the shock troops are just kind of like, oh, okay, and running along the ground.
Well, they can climb easier than we can. Do you think I should cast fly on Shatask or not?
Well,
You did.
You already did.
Yeah, I know. I already did, but I could dismiss it.
She'll be able to keep up with us.
And she falls.
Don't worry. They have a great fall speed.
Yeah, and ants fall at a terminal velocity that's below what would actually hurt them, so that they're fine. We're bigger than
I was
ants.
gonna say,
All right.
most
so
ants weigh 80 pounds.
you guys come back up through that hole in the floor.
80. She's bigger than that.
Probably.
That hole in the floor, and that room is about how it was before. You weren't down there for all that long. It looks like the shock troop that was still up there has fought other either drones or soldiers. He looks fairly wounded, and the other one that was left up there is dead. But there's no other foes in that particular encounter or in that location. And are you going to be proceeding back out the way that you came in?
Yeah.
Or trying a different route?
No, we know a clear access.
All right. So as you're going,
I'll send a telepathic instruction to that one to rejoin the command post. Because I assume there's some kind of command post.
yeah, they'd be setting up something. Yeah. So as he just moves off on an adjacent angle, so he's going somewhere else. It's surprising how few foes, or not even foes, how any Anuriak are about in the area that you're in right now.
I bet they're in complete disarray.
It would be pretty bad. So let me just make a couple of rolls here. And as you guys are heading like around one of the corners and up into like the next level to get to an outer tier, let's see. I would imagine you guys are pretty aware. Everybody roll a nits for me.
Oh, okay. I was expecting perception check or something like that.
4.
15.
17.
19. Okay, those 17 Jacob, 15 Boris.
Correct.
Did you say 19?
Yeah.
Oh. What's attacking
And
us?
4 Zelen.
Something.
Something that's going to be pudding pretty soon.
Yeah, it is tough when things come at you guys one at a time. And this is coming at person 2 in the party. I need to decide who is what. So we'll see. I'll re-roll that. Boris is 1, say Jacob is 2, Zelen is 3, and Shatask is 4.
Any factor in this that we're flying?
No. Boris.
And maybe the ceiling's not that high. I don't know.
Make your...
Well, as I recall, we had a pretty straight shot because Zelen kept cutting holes in walls.
Oh, that's true. That's what they were investigating. He's like, where'd this come from? This isn't mine.
Or no, we were getting drones to cut holes in walls.
Yeah, I think I was stone shaping.
Yeah, definitely to get into her den, but I think we just recruited passing drones to open up holes in walls.
Yeah.
For most of our trip, and then you were using the shock troops to just kind of crush their way through as well.
I guess there's no way to add speed when you fly.
How does Superman fly faster? Does he just go more...
He clenches.
Beans.
He just clenches.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's not even a save for this one. I have to make a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
All right, so...
Though we are traveling at 60 feet a move action with this fly spell. So we're probably about out of the complex.
Armor class?
21.
A lightning bolt, or a bolt, put it that way. Somebody could do it, and like an arcane if they wanted to, took the time, strikes part of the wall right adjacent to you, and tracing that back, there is an Anuriak that is on an adjacent level, like it opened up an area of window, and seemed to be waiting for this spot to try to hit anybody that came back through here.
Copy.
Keep
it moving!
Yeah, how fast can we get out of here?
60 feet an action.
Yeah, pretty fast.
120 feet per round.
All right, so
more for me because I got my cunning action.
you guys will be right near with that.
Yeah,
that,
you're 180.
I'm 180 every round. Yeah.
And that next passage, you're right there at the entrance where you're coming in, and at range, it's going to try something else, even though it's at a pretty extreme range.
Now, am I allowed to do anything back or no? Because it's not
If
mine.
you don't want to dash, you'd have to use your action, so you'd be lagging back behind the party.
Yeah, honestly,
it's smarter just to keep running.
I think the best option for that is Jacob, because he's dashing as a bonus action.
This is true.
And can take his action to
I can
shoot
turn and
whatever
fire.
it is.
Yeah.
Assuming that it's, whatever it's doing is A, on the next round, and B, has a range of 120 feet.
Oh yeah. So we'll see if I can. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll make a perception if I can even see the thing where it's coming from, and then wage from there. Do I want to kill it? Do we want to just keep going? We'll see what happens.
Well, can't you do both? Because you can dash and...
True, but also if I'm just firing arrows, I'm losing resources at that point. I'm just shooting arrows.
Well, and how much maneuvering we want to do with that.
It feels like I have an unlimited amount of arrows, but I actually only have like 50 of them total.
Yeah.
If I just start firing them off,
Glad we're heading back home now.
When you actually start using them, they start like clicking down.
because
really fast.
I just have them on here like I'm taking them down like it's broken just because I've had no capacity to repair my arrows. So I have 50 total. 12 of them are broken.
Yikes.
So
yeah, it's almost like my original draft of the Heartstring way back 5 years before we did this.
Would have been very helpful.
Yeah, having an unlimited ammunition supply.
All right, so yeah,
Harumph.
as you guys are moving through, it is that next round, unless anyone else has an action for that round.
Do I see the thing that was
Yeah, it's definitely an Uriak. You would imagine it's a sage, and it seems to have opened up a window space in the wall above where you guys came through, coming in initially.
distance from me?
Well, as you're moving by there, probably at about like 60 or so feet.
Oh, it's close. Okay. If I have to keep up with them anyway, I'll take 2 shots at it. I'll take 1 shot. We'll see if I even get close to it.
Okay.
Firing just a mundane arrow at it. How about a 22?
Yeah.
Okay. Getting it right in the face because that's what it decided to stick out from wherever it was. Is it for whatever reason below its hit point maximum?
It is not.
Okay.
Which is shocking considering the amount of battling that's been happening in this area.
So 14 points of damage because screw that guy.
Okay.
Well, but that will mess up his concentration. So
Assuming he
if
was
whatever
maintaining
it was doing was a concentration
Oh, that's
spell,
true.
could mess it up.
Yeah.
All right. And so then you're moving with the rest of your action
Yeah.
to keep up with the party?
Well, his move action and his bonus action.
Right.
Yep. So I still get to keep up with them because I still get to move 2 move actions.
Right. So you're
So
all
we're
still
still all
flying
together.
ahead.
Yeah.
And
It's just essentially screw this guy.
Yeah.
yeah, the best it can do at that range without it directly coming after you, an Eldritch Blast is striking out to the party at the extreme edge of its range. And again, same thing for which person it's going for. This beam is hitting Boris. And
Incorrect.
You can try.
I'm going to take a bonus action on my round to cast Shield of Faith. That looks suspiciously like a 1.
It's actually a 7,
Oh.
but
Those dang
that
Eldritch
sounds
dice,
like
no one else can read
like
them.
a meta thing. You had said your last round, you guys were just moving and going out.
I still have the bonus action, but it missed either way, so it doesn't matter.
Big talk. I don't know. With its plus 14 to hit, I don't know.
And it seems to be a magnet toward you.
Yeah, because I'm carrying the head of its boss.
Probably
that does
there.
make
Probably
sense,
that's the
yeah.
reason. Yeah, and both blasts missed, and you guys are at the outer
Thank
wall.
you, Shield of Faith.
Okay. So I say we just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, this was our job. We did our job.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than doing, and if anyone, are any more attacks being taken towards us?
No, at this point you're outside.
Okay.
You just crossed that barrier to go into the outside.
Yeah, so then let's
Yeah, I'll
circle
take up
back to Krino Trogan.
I'll take up the rear if we're still making dashes as we're going back that way, just in case anything comes up this way and wants to attack at us. I'll try and be the easiest thing to hit, and I'll use my bonus action just prepping to dodge.
How's Shatask reacting to flying?
Very nonplussed. Like it actually thought
I
this
think
was the
she
thing
might be in a little bit of shock, frankly.
that it's moving along with all of you, and it just seems to be like taking it all in stride. It is. You can only
Today's going to be weird until it's done.
you can imagine the thoughts. They'd be things like, "What a tremendous waste of resource," but she's also kind of like, "What a fun ride."
Well, and we're moving so much faster too, and with a greater range of options, that she's seeing the city from angles she's never seen before.
You have to
A
be
whole
very-
new world, if you will.
Yeah, that's more or
like
less
on a
where I was
magic
going.
carpet ride. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
And you continue to try and seduce the weird bug things.
So, do you go back in through
Don't
the
you
main
dare
entrance?
close your eyes.
Main entrance, different entrance, open up an entrance.
main
Landing
entrance.
in front of the main entrance, yeah.
Yeah,
we're
no,
we're
we-
going to procession this.
We have a head. We're gonna make a show out of this.
There was when you guys are approaching Kenoch Rogan's main entrance, that Shatask says that because the whole city kind of closed itself up, just in different clan homes all over the place. When this attack first took place, everybody was like battening down the hatches, and with that, they're opening up little windows here and there in walls and in spaces because they apparently want to know what's going on. So as you guys are looking around, as you're processing in, carrying this thing's head, there are more and more windows opening, and a weird clicking sound starts vibrating through all of Jatakden as this is happening. Anybody have any questions or anything for Shatask? Or
Yeah, what is it?
Do I understand the clicks? Do I know what they're saying?
I'm going to telepathically relay through Usud to everything in telepathic radius. Gha'Geendrog has fallen. And head aloft.
That's and that chant means same. It kind of goes through a ripple and an up, like a wave hit all of them. And I think we just said you have the language. So yeah, you're getting really two different like words or series of clicks are being repeated over and over again. But it seems by different people, they're kind of echoing against each other. One of them is waste, and the other one is change. And it's like waste, change, waste, change.
It's like the Anuriak version of USA, USA.
I don't know. I think we're about to cause a civil war in this.
What else is new?
But
it is Thursday, after all.
But it is definitely, and the only place that there is not any of that coming from is Gha'Geendrog itself. It's as though they can't even look. They're not even heading in that direction.
Yeah.
The fighting's going on inside there. And all of the doors in Gha'Geendrog are opening up right now. That all the kind of the shutters, so to speak, that are closed down, those doors and windows are opening back up. And it is the only clan home that is going back to being its normal self, like day-to-day operations, Inuriak crawling inside of windows and out. That kind of movement isn't happening, but the building is open. And Shatask says, this is a display of our leadership and our fearlessness, that we are prepared, that it doesn't matter what they could do, that we could destroy a foe. And then it again, it's not like a lower voice says, it has not happened in collective history that a matriarch, one of the mages that aspired to that position, has had its head taken, that death has actually happened in anything apart from natural. This is unprecedented. I mean, you guys go in.
I was
through the
actually
main
wondering
doors.
how long it's been.
Yeah, I think that we should go in a very in a serious, contained way, but not celebratory, because
solemn.
Exactly, solemn. Yes.
So we.
All right, fine.
You're right. So everyone's doing that.
So
apart from
I do tell
Jacob,
I do
who's
tell the
doing a happy
pixies
dance.
to release fly, so we're no longer flying through the city.
Once you get
We can
down
walk through the
to
city.
the ground, yeah.
It's like releasing doves, but the nasty version. Just a whole bunch of flies everywhere.
I haven't released the pixies because I don't know what's coming yet. So
How long does the spell last?
An hour.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're just still minutes into it. Yeah, you are. I had assumed at that point you were actually on the
walking,
ground. So yeah, you released the spell, and at the main doors, out through it comes shock troops, and they're holding the doors open. And go ahead and roll. I forgot what it's called.
Insight or perception?
Perception. That as you are looking at all these people or all these beings.
They're people.
Yeah.
16.
So
17.
What's the number?
You just got to one up me.
Perception?
Yeah.
21?
all right. So yeah,
There we
all
go.
of
Be
you
that way.
and Jacob most definitely. That your call was very right when it came to be solemn coming in, because they're not like, yeah, look what we did. They look at it as though they just lost, their own grandparent. That's a terrible
had to have
thing.
been done.
Yeah, look, that's a terrible thing to have happened to a family, because the implications are probably much, much farther. Not only is that house fallen, but it could be a case of where that house can't ever get itself back. That that house
Going to be absorbed into other
it
houses.
just ended. Yeah, it just completely ended. That what's going to be happening probably soon once you guys are inside is there's going to be this mass, destruction, influx of every other household, like in
Picking the
force
ruins.
to get every single thing they possibly can out of it, which means that, probably even the building in a little bit won't even be there. None of this has happened before in their history.
Do we have a cloak or something that we could put over the head just so that we could indicate we understand that we don't just want to parade this through the streets some
Well,
way?
you're almost
We're
to the
into the
door at this
compound.
point. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
so it
Yeah,
probably
the
wouldn't even
parade is
matter.
over.
Yeah. But the rest of the clan homes are not opening up any more than what it was. And then you go into those main doors. And then as soon as those doors are closed back behind you, you can hear a rush like a thunderstorm kind of rain, like a waterfall. And it wouldn't take more than a moment for you to realize that that's a Nuriak out in Chatakdan. Possibly all of them are rushing out of their own homes right now, their own clan homes, and rushing in toward Gha'Geendrog to just strip it of everything. as you guys are heading into, I'm guessing the main council chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless we get a direction to go somewhere else. Yeah.
And as you know, you don't, and you're brought right into that main chamber, and everyone, every Anuriac that you encounter along the way is stepping aside, and the ones as it's fully realized what you're carrying, they leave. They're not even just like giving you passage in the hallway. Everyone simply gets
recoiling
out of the way. Yeah. And as you bring that in, you note that among the council itself, that they seem horrified and sickened that this has happened quite this way. It's more than they would have thought and faster than they would have thought. But here it is.
They sent us to do a job. This is your receipt.
Understood, Jacob Treadstone. And one of them comes down off of its little dais platform with some kind of a covering. It looks like the same kind of stuff, the flexible stuff they have between pieces of armor,
cloth.
and covers it so it's not exposed that way, and goes back up.
I wonder if that'll be ensconced in a similar way that
Right,
Murgic's Carapace
yes.
is.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of, an unholy artifact to match the holy.
Any chance that Boris was thinking that and not just Victor articulating it just here?
Statistically.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah, you're probably discussing it with Usud.
And right, but as you say that, one of the sages that are still up on its platform relates to everyone, but you feel it's definitely toward you, Boris, that our matriarch cannot make the decision now. It is too stunned. We might not be able to speak with it or communicate with it for a number of days, possibly even weeks, before it comes out of its shock. It felt it. It knew that was happening. And
Makes me wonder if these things are actually related.
Probably.
and finally realized the gravity of what we had decided. But it is possible. If you were to ever return to this place and there's a pause where you're blanked out completely, it then comes back in, it would probably be here in this council chamber.
It's time to send us
I
back
ain't
to
ever
hell.
coming back. What are you talking about?
You're like, we'd like to buy a residence
I
here.
like
and
the way
come
you
back
ended
for a
that
visit."
sentence. When we come back, that means we leave now, correct?
You have fulfilled your obligation. We are appreciative of all that you have done to bring
Awed
us
and horrified.
Yeah, back to our status. Yeah, it's a little bit like realizing that you just hired the worst things that ever were to do this stuff.
Well, I'm glad we lived up to the demon moniker.
Right.
Am I still lawful good?
You never were in their eyes, yeah. But they have no concept of that anyway. That
Yeah,
you,
I'm more concerned about in my God's eyes.
yeah, I think you are. That you are welcome to leave, and we will arrange a caravan to take you back to the surface world, to your hell, where you apparently belong.
I reach into my bag for a second and just go, okay,
they'll
hold on a second.
like flinch and recoil a little bit.
I
Like,
pull out a small sack and I say, I don't have a use for these anymore. And I just toss up the small sack of the 111 iron coins that I had because they mean nothing up
okay,
on the
so
surface.
it tosses up. Nobody grabs for it, and it drops
Yeah.
right by that covered up head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and just
so
drop it over
Judas
there.
throwing the silver back into the temple.
Wow.
I don't need this.
Yeah, right. And it'll probably sit there forever, right where it landed.
It's a resource.
Yeah, well, I was just going to leave mine in Ellisad's chambers. We just ransack it for anything that's
the
potential
next guy.
value.
And then that's it. Another voice comes in your head and says, "Gather your things." And then to Shatask, prepare the caravan as quickly as possible. They must get out of here immediately. Though it might take, and you hear this it's like even a day, maybe a couple, for this to get ready. They're in a different kind of press. And then a different one says, there is one condition about you leaving.
State it.
You may never return to Chatakdan.
No worries.
This is amenable to us.
If you are ever seen within the region or realm of any Anuriac, you'll be destroyed immediately.
Yeah. I'm
Your terms are accepted.
I'm not quite so bold as to laugh at the threat, but there is, an arched eyebrow under the helm.
Right.
Do you really think you could?
They had to say it. They had to say it. So you guys head back to
Ellisid's.
Ellisid's quarters.
I didn't read the terms and conditions. Sure.
Right. Let's
And
get out of here.
like I said, packing up everything that's ours, and anything that might be even of the remotest use or value that's left over in
Agreed.
his stuff.
Yeah.
So the books, the hides, I don't know, whatever alchemical reagents he left lying around.
Your real armor, wherever you put your real armor.
we stashed that-
that's in
we stashed
Lemon's
that
secret
in-
chest.
Yeah, along with my actual shield.
Okay.
So then a day after you've been just really waiting for the city to calm down and for Shatask to say, the caravan's ready, it's being prepared, and that's the last word you had. Shatask shows up periodically and gives you like bits of information that's almost like we have another portion of the caravan ready, and then goes again. And it's really difficult to read what she's experiencing at this point, because she could have waited until the caravan was ready and just come and summoned you guys. So there's something else mentally going on with her.
Insight for
Yeah, sure.
Hey. I'm actually good at insight for once.
13 for me, and Usud had a 10, so it doesn't matter.
23.
24.
All right.
All right, well done, you selling me.
I rolled
So-
a natural 20.
So it'd probably be both Jacob and Zell, and maybe you're talking about after one of the occasions when she left again. You're like, well, guys,
fine.
you're like, she seems really, really wound up and upset about all of this. But you do get, you're reading it from, she seems more struck because she was having a tough time before the attack, that raid happened, and then going into it, like what's her stake in all this? But you do get the idea that she is more purposeless than what she has ever been. That whatever her belief structures are, they've been completely uprooted, and it looks like she's looking for some kind of stability. And it might be that you, the three of you, as horrible as you are for this realm, that you're still stable in what you do, or she's used to being around you, because apparently everything else in their clan home is different.
You can't come with us.
It's all changed.
So if we're getting the sense that she's feeling purposeless, is it that because she's feeling an individual purpose? Can we determine that? She's never felt an individual purpose. It's
right, that she's always, and that would be the change that you experienced from when she was like voicing these things to you before, that she wanted things back to normal.
right.
And you've realized part of her normal was being told what to do.
right.
That it's always been, this is your task, go do it. And this change seemed to be that there's an independence she's never even been aware of before, that on an independent level, she is differently aware of herself.
Does she seem to want to engage with us at all? I mean, is she coming to give us these updates because she's hoping for some engagement, or
At your
can we?
24 and 25,
Yeah.
I think I'd say you're guessing that's exactly, or you're figuring that's exactly what she's doing.
Well,
So-
I mean, we saw her reaction too when we were in the matriarch, and even that whole conversation we had with them, saying like, "We'll give you a chance. Turn your back on these people and do that." And she just sat there quietly, just wondering to know what we would do. If she was actively against that, if she was okay with everything happening where she was now, she would have spoken out in that moment. You would
You
think.
think?
Yeah, it's
So
reasonable.
obviously she's faltering in her own stance with where she is now, wondering if she's even on the right side of everything.
So the next time
Or is there a right side? In
Is
this
there even a
society?
right side? Yeah.
the next time
Right side of the
she
surface, as far as I'm concerned.
comes in, I want to try to engage her. Shatask, when we flew, you had a different view.
I did.
The same city, everything's the same. It's just a different way to look at it.
Everything that makes the city as a structure is the same, although because you're aware that Gha'Geendrog is being
It's a lot
disassembled.
fancier.
No, it's a lot less. But everything that makes it a living, breathing place, that is, every single Anuriak has been altered. Anuriak are not what they were days ago, months ago.
Anuriak can be better and stronger from this. Can you see that? Can you see that vision?
As I'd said before, I suspect it, but I don't know with whom to speak to regain my direction.
Have you had time to contact the person we suggested to you, or contact the Anuriak that we suggested to you?
I have not. That would be difficult to do as the city as it is, that anyone that goes out there is going to raid and repurpose in Gha'Geendrog, and I choose not to be part of that.
Do you want us
It's a
to
good choice.
try to create a meeting place here?
If that would be possible.
I mean, I would think that would be possible. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, honestly, it'd be. I think for us, it'd probably be relatively easy.
Agreed.
Like, I just, kind of go outside, do the gesture. Anybody who responds, I go, find Thug and bring him to me.
Essentially, that's the exact thought that came to my mind. Just
And,
kind of going
you
out
know,
there.
right.
Since it's us, they're going to go, whoa, crap, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
We'll arrange this for you.
And with that, there's like the kind of the body movements of acknowledgement. And I would think that Jacob picks up on that more than anyone else.
Yeah, I think Jacob's got the best for their body language.
Yeah, she doesn't even leave. She just goes over to the common area and kind of curls herself up on like one of the pieces of furniture.
Oh, I'm feeling so sorry for Shatask.
But that she
You've
just
got a depressed aunt.
Blanket over her.
but it doesn't go back to whatever its own quarters would be. It just stays here.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I wonder if Shatask is feeling alien in her own home.
yeah. So let's get.
Yeah.
Funny
want-
concept.
I nodded
Yeah,
the guy
it
what
is.
with the best mental communication
I'll,
abilities. and
I'll
we
head down
just
to
step out for a second.
the. Yeah, okay.
No, I mean like you and I, like we'll head out. If you
Yeah.
want to keep Shatask company,
Yeah.
we'll just head
Yeah.
down.
Is there an equivalent to making an Ariak tea?
Steeping whatever that
Drone
food that you-
kite.
Yeah, right, yeah, really.
Steeping chitin.
You just get boiling water and dip its own foot into it.
Thanks. I
Let it
needed
drink
that.
Ew. Toady.
Teetotaling.
Teetotaler. Teetotaler.
Totes tea. Great.
Okay,
Tea
yeah.
jokes. That's
So,
what we've been
I'll-
reduced to.
Is it really reduced considering the caliber of some jokes that we've made?
It's just
Yeah, that's true.
concentrated.
So yeah, I'll step out into kind of like the rush outside of the Kree-Trogan compound and make the gesture.
And you do get from them that it's less of a rush now, and it's more that it's become an organized thing.
Mm-hmm.
That they are very
interesting.
precisely, almost like they know which building they can have as they're taking
Right,
stuff
yeah,
apart. But it was a free for all when it
Kind
started.
of unsurprising.
And the message is what you just said a moment ago.
Yeah, that once I've found one that's responded as part of the cult, bring Thug of Bit-Karkarag to me.
And again, the way it stops and almost looks about itself, notices that nobody notices, and gives you the affirmative signal back, and then goes off to do it. Do you communicate that in any different way, Jacob? Were you doing it from a different place, like to a
I assumed
separate?
you wanted to say something to me, and that's why we...
No. I was just figuring like getting out of this location in case there was anything needed for, I don't know, more physical communication if it wasn't going to be mental notes passed back
fair.
and forth. Because I don't think we've had really an idea that there was anyone who wasn't one of these mental communicators. Because are they all mental, or are there some that are just physical, some that are mental?
The spellcasters, so
Yeah,
the
I figured
adepts
it was like
and higher,
the drones and lower. But then again,
soldiers, drones, kind of other stuff like that.
yeah. So if we ran into a soldier or anything, someone who didn't communicate telepathically, I was going to be there in
Well,
case
they can all
that was
receive the telepathy.
Oh, that's a fair point. But then getting messages back from them if anything was going to happen that way.
Yeah.
But
You do notice this, Jacob. Then when Boris put out that ping and got a response, and that one went off to do it, that there was a soldier that was also in like the companionway adjacent to that area, and stopped, turned, and you would actually do that as an insight, I would think.
damn it.
Any modifier?
Oh, hey.
Ooh,
nice.
Natural
Okay.
17.
Plus, it's a 4. I just want to remember. Yeah, so 21.
That you are very aware, perfectly aware, that soldier recognized that was a member of the cult. That something in it, and then it went back to its own task as though it just didn't care.
Hmm.
Very
That's
good.
interesting.
Okay.
Kind of very bad if you're an Anuriak.
Yeah.
It suits our purposes.
And I pointed out to Boris, and then
Yeah.
I guess we say, all right, so I guess we got about an hour. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so
Hopefully.
hang tight until Thug arrives.
Yeah, so it's a few hours later when you're back in your quarters, I would think, that there is call it like a mental calling from outside the door.
Yeah, open it.
And it's Thug of Bit-Karkarag.
Come in, or clickety click. Come in.
So you're speaking like in the click language to him?
Yeah, may as well.
All right, cool, yeah. So he responds
It's for covert things.
Sure.
in clicks in kind instead of mentally. And inside again. Actually, you just rolled that inside a minute ago. We'll just keep that roll. That that there is something tantamount to pleasure, because think about them using like that form of communication when using mental ability is so much more efficient, that the very nature of your greeting was a wasteful thing that used more energy than it needed to. And he's like, wow, like out in the open, yeah. And so he kind of high fives you right back and comes in.
I kind of want to keep the conversation going and ask a question to say, like, how have you benefited at all from any rating on name of
Gha'Geendrog.
Gha'Geendrog?
Of course, we are in all clans. And in all clans, they are expressing a new perception that it would seem as though that our thoughts are becoming awake and alive in more of Jatakdan. Our numbers are growing. I wonder where it will go and how far.
Thug of Bikkarkarag. So translating through you, I guess.
You don't have to do it that way, because I think he did mental communication as well. This is
Yeah,
just a
but-
fun conversation
yeah,
for whatever
it's-
reason.
I would like to introduce Shatask of Krina Trogan.
And there's, with that, not even noticing, because she was kind of swaddled in a blanket, that there was an Nuriak over there. He stiffens for a moment and begins to relax. You can imagine that he wondered if he was being set up
busted.
in some capacity. But then almost immediately he
Recognizes the symptoms of Nuriak depression.
something, yeah. He sends out the ping. You guys all are aware of it, like the kind of the greetings. Like, why would he do that when you're here? And when that happens, the antenna on Shatask perk up. That you are aware that she heard that thing that before most of Nuriak are unable to even hear.
We taught her her it though, right?
Or we talked to her about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever spent time to actually show it to her, but she's probably listening for any sort of nonverbal mental communication at this point.
But it does seem as though, too, that she's in a place where whatever she's gone through,
She's receptive.
that she's able to hear a different thing that before would have just been completely alien.
So how do we exactly describe this to Thug and just say, like, we have someone here who's looking for some sort of a
Individual purpose.
some bigger thing than herself, because of the changes already happening in this place, wanting to make sure that there's still that sense of purpose.
And they begin a very brief conversation, and as they're having the conversation, they're heading toward the door, as though it'd be better to talk in other places. But Shatask is...
And as kind of a last thing before Thug leaves our presence, we'll be departing in a few days.
And he clicks to, the party in general. But Jacob, it'd be, that is good. That might be best. I would be, and it stumbles over it, happy to see you again. But the Shatask's communication is, what direction can there possibly be? And that Thug's in response is, I don't know. And when she queries even further, saying, does this mean destruction for the city, destruction for a way of life? He responds with, possibly, but something else will come out of it. And then they go out the door. And, apart from that nod to all of you, they don't seem to be very interested in knowing what you guys know or thinking what you guys think.
Well, I hope their first date goes well.
You crazy kids.
That it is easily a full day later that you get that mental note from outside the door, and it's Shatask. And Shatask, when you allow her to come in, she simply announces, the caravan is ready, and your departure could be imminent if you are ready to depart. And there's no sign of any part of what she was like, yesterday and in the immediate days before.
I am already outside. I am ready to go.
So Jacob just leapt out the window.
Essentially.
And you guys proceed together. You're not even taken toward the main council chamber again.
Yeah, they're probably just kind of generally still horrified of us.
Yeah, but they do take you out through all the main hallways that would take you just circling that middle tier to where the council chamber is. So you're being led through the halls, like the main pageantry halls inside their own structure, where there's the various things set into the walls that are things of, battle tallies and, honor points and things like that. And you're taken out through the actual main gates, and it is lined with
There's a lot of people around us.
Oh yeah, as long as you're in Kreenot Rogan.
I wanna turn to Boris, and I just said, like, I feel like this would be just like a big morale thing, but use your mental ping again. Like, try and do that, radiating it out, do that nod for the cult as we're leaving, just so everyone just feels like them, and then we just leave.
Yeah, I will definitely.
All right, so when you're in one of those main areas, and there's probably
We're
hundreds.
gathered in the great mass of them.
Yeah, there's just hundreds and hundreds of.
Do I see Tomas?
Maybe. But that when you do
The
that,
last of Gha'Geendrog.
when you do that, when you're coming out through them, like through the main entrance way out of their clan hold, and you do that ping easily, like maybe hearing it for the first time, it's probably about a quarter of the population that are nearby. Antennas go boop and kind of jump. And then as that happens, all of them are like turning their heads, looking at each other as that goes on, as you guys exit out of that
Interesting.
place.
I'm loving the idea that we've, through tremendous hardship, turned their society into a society of individualists.
And then you approach where the caravan is, and it's a pretty good-sized group of beings. And let me give you a quick list right here. That there's a couple of shock troops, there's 6 adepts, there's 10 soldiers, and 60 drones.
Oh, wow.
All carrying various gear and everything else. And without any further preamble, it begins to move in the direction to get you finally out of the lands of the Anuriak and back to the surface.
Thanks for listening. I hope you've been enjoying the campaign and are as excited as I am to be getting back to the surface. We are closing in on episode 100, which means there's plenty of binge-worthy content piled up for all your non-watching friends to join the cult. We just learned that you can send us voice messages for us to include in upcoming episodes, so tell us your ideas directly at anchor.fm/theempiresedge/message.
And back to the surface.
I was fully prepared that you were going to end one more episode with Chitakdan, because you did it like 8 times. It's like, and you are finally leaving Chitakdan. And I would have been like, son of a